Hello everyone, welcome to Uncle Matt's Workbench, and I have a surprise for you. Today's video is not about Star Wars action figures. In fact, this is not an action figure at all. It's an electric guitar. Specifically, it is a Jackson JS11. These are relatively inexpensive guitars. They're you can pick these up for under 200 bucks. This one was given to me by a friend. It was a project guitar of his, and it just sat around till he decided, he's not going to complete it, and he's just going to give it to me to complete it. And this is exactly the state it was in whenever he gave it to me. So you can see there's no strings on it, and there's no electronics in it. And if you're familiar with this model, you know that that is not the original tremolo that came on it. In fact, that is a Wilkinson tremolo, and it's the version made by Goto. So it is actually a really good tremolo. Unfortunately, because of this Jackson angled headstock, I don't think that it's going to hold tune even with that tremolo. And it also has some staggered locking tuners. If I turn this over, you can see that there are locking tuners, but despite that, I still don't expect that this will stay in tune if I use the tremolo. So it's nice to have a good tremolo like that, but I don't expect it to work very well with that headstock. So I'm going to leave it on there because it's a good bridge regardless, but it's best if I don't use it. So he also gave me a bunch of parts. I have a lot of parts of my own. You can see up here I've actually recently organized all of this. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff up here. This is all guitar parts. And I'm gonna see what I can do to make a playable guitar out of this using only parts that I have. So obviously I'm going to keep the tremolo there, and I'm going to keep the locking tuners. I need to find some pickups for it, and this is my little bin full of pickups. Some of these are junk, but there's a few good ones in here. I'm pretty sure all of those single coils are probably junk. I'll have to test those with a meter later. That's a no-name humbucker. I've actually got a set that this matches with single coils. I've got plans for those, so I'm not going to use that. Let's see what else I've got. The EMGs would be cool, but the wires got clipped off right there. Again, these were given to me as well, and that's how it was given to me. I don't think that's salvageable. Don't think I can use that. Let's see. That's what do we got here? That's a GB what is that? G&B pickups. Okay, I've heard of these. These are like budget pickups, but they're supposed to be actually pretty good for the amount of money you pay for them. What else have we got in here? What is this? Okay, that's a DiMarzio. And the wire's clipped off right there. Can't use it. What's this? I think that's another G&B. Yeah, are those the same or are they different? I think one of those is bridge and one of those is neck, and I've got two humbuckers there. I might use those. What have we got here? I'm not sure what this is. It's hardly got any lead left on it, but that should be enough for a bridge pickup. I don't know if that's a bridge or not. that's a maybe. So let's see what I got here. I have no idea. It's probably a cheap one. Another unbranded humbucker. But you know what, now that I think about it, I'm thinking, okay, there's another DiMarzio. I've got the wires intact. That's a definite maybe. But I'm thinking about this shiny, glossy black finish and these chrome covered pickups. I think that combination might look really cool. Let me see if I can just tuck this in here. See what it looks like. Yeah, I kind of like the way that looks. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Black with those two PAFs. That looks really nice. Alright, so I'm going to put all these pickups back. Okay. What else do we need? We need a blade switch, and we need a volume pot and a tone pot. Those holes look different. Like, I think that one looks like it's been drilled out, and that one is factory. So knowing the person who gave this to me, he probably had something funky in there. He probably was going to put a push-pull or something like that in there. I'm not sure. Let me see what I got here. I think I've got the electronics that came out of this, actually. I think those came out of it. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's a push-pull. And that's one of the little bitty Japanese pods. Cheap looking blade switch, and it's a 3-way selector, so that would work, but I don't know if I really want to use that push-pull or not, because I mean, it's nice, but when it comes to stuff like that, I don't really use it. And these pickups, how many wires does that have? Is that can't tell if that's got a white wire in there with it. I don't know if I need to use the push-pull with that, and I don't think I will. I think there should be a black wire. Are these 4-lead? Yeah, there's a black wire and a white wire, green wire and a red wire. So these are 4-lead pickups. So if I wanted to, I could use that push-pull. I'm going to have to think about that. Alright, now before I do any assembly, this fretboard is it's fairly dirty. So before I do anything at all, I'm going to clean that up, because right now is the opportune time, because there's no strings on it. Now the next thing I need to do is fish these pickups, the wires, through these holes here and here so that they come into the control cavity there. And I've already determined that this would be the bridge pickup and the other would be the neck, based on this has the shorter leads than the other, plus the fact that these posts right here, they would be closer to the bridge on the neck pickup, and the wire is going that way. I mean, on the bridge pickup, these would be here. And the neck pickup is actually the opposite. So the wire comes out of this side here, and that puts those posts up front by the fretboard. The neck pickup's got to fish through there first, because it's got to go through two holes. And now I have to find some screws to put those pickups in, to screw them down. And you know what? I think I can do that off camera. It'd be a lot easier and make the video a little bit shorter. Well, I did find some screws, but as far as these specific type of screws go and the color, I could only find 7, so temporarily I'm just not going to have a screw there. I may have one in the house somewhere. I'm not sure if I do or not. I'll have to do some searching. I can always pick one up from my part-time job too, where I work as a guitar tech in a music store. I'm sure there's a screw there that I can borrow or swap out. There's plenty of spare parts in my little workstation there. But for now, it's just gonna be 7 screws instead of 8. So the next order of business would be to get this thing wired up. And I have decided to go ahead and use this cluster of pots and switches, because for a couple of reasons. One being, I actually do want to use this push-pull. I want to be able to split the coils. The hole is already drilled bigger for this, and it still has a small hole for that tone pot. Also, this 3-way blade switch is the only 3-way blade switch I have in my parts. All of the other ones I have are 5-way. This is the only 3-way I have. Before I can install any of this, I'm going to have to desolder most of these wires from here. I'm not going to use what's here. I mean, I don't even know what's what here because I didn't pull it out myself. And yeah, I'm gonna remove everything that's not really necessary so I can work with what's left of it. So I've had an unfortunate accident. I thought I was recording when I was doing all this wiring, and apparently I was not. So I have no footage of doing any of this wiring, but I can show you that the wiring is finished. I'm not great at wiring, but it doesn't look too bad, does it? I mean, worst case scenarios, it doesn't work and I gotta go back in and figure out what the problem is. But I think that it's all gonna work out. I did a lot of research on each individual component before wiring it, and I couldn't find a diagram for this specific combination, so I kind of had to compile one of my own. And this is my lovely drawing of my wiring diagram. I showed this on a Facebook group of luthiers and asked if it would work, and they said that I look good, so I soldered it all up exactly that way. It should work. And while I've got the back of the guitar on camera, there's actually a couple of upgrades in here I forgot to mention in the opening, and that's that this has a brass block, a big thick brass block. It's got the noiseless springs and also a heavy-duty brass claw. And what I really like about this claw is that the ground wire, there's a screw right there for the ground wire. So my ground wire right here is screwed in there nice and solid. If you've ever used a guitar with a tremolo before and had the soldering joint break off right there, you know, you'll know how convenient this is. I mean, this is awesome. That's never going to come off on its own. So now I've got it all wired up, and I've got it plugged into an amplifier, and before putting strings on it, I'm going to test these pickups, test the wiring. So right now I've got it in the bridge position, and I've got the volume up. Now I just take any kind of ferrous piece of metal, I'm using this drill bit, that tells me that that bridge pickup is active. And the neck pickup is not, so that's what I want. Now middle position, both pickups. Yep, both active. Neck pickup, the bridge should not be active, and it isn't. So looks like I'm good. Next step is to get some strings on it. It's all strung up now. I did a basic setup off camera. I could still do some little minor adjustments to the setup, but I'm not going to do that in this video. A setup could be a whole video in itself, so I'm just going to skip it for this particular video. But for now, we need to put some finishing touches on this. Go see what kind of. Need a switch tip. Let's see, there's a black one right there. Okay, we need some knobs. Got some knobs right here. Got a whole bunch of knobs actually. Some shiny black one. Another shiny black one. One's brass and one's cheapo. See, does that one fit? Yeah, that fits. Does it fit? There we go. Wipe those clean. Did I get a matching set on there? Alright, now we're going to plug this in and test it. We're going to try this in every position. Right now we're in the bridge position, humbucker mode. Middle position, so both humbuckers. Neck position. Pull the push-pull pot up, so I'm in single coil position, so this will be bridge single coil. Both single coils. Neck single coil. Let's go back to humbucker mode, put it in the bridge position, switch this to a metal channel. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Uncle Matt's Workbench. I know this is not the kind of video that I normally do, but it was always intended that I would eventually do this sort of thing on my channel, because this is one of my lifelong hobbies. I've been doing this stuff since I was 14 years old. The Star Wars collecting is actually just in the past 10 years that I've started doing that. And I'm kind of slowing down on that. I may get back to it at some point in the future, may not, I'm not sure right now. But right now I am very much into my guitars, and I'm actually working part-time in a music store now as a guitar tech, which is fairly new. I've been doing this stuff for over 30 years and I've never gotten paid for it, but I am now. So there will be more of this in the near future. I've got a couple more guitar projects lined up, and I intend to do videos for those. So if you've enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more of this type of content from me, let me know. If you're new here, like and subscribe, please. Come back and see me again. Until next time, thank you for watching.